Hi guys, this is Kayla with a rant video. So here we go. I haven't planned out anything for this except for what I was able to mentally think of in the last 2 minutes. I basically just have this topic and I just want to talk about it because it's been very relevant in my own life and I'm sure other people can relate. It's a very relatable topic. And it's something that I see a lot around me, and it's something that I've actually been thinking about and processing for the past year. So what is this thing? We're going to talk about toxicity, and not toxicity of the body, like detoxing. We're not talking about detoxing. I guess we could be talking about detoxing, but not the body, not anything to do with health, at least physical health. We're talking about mental health. And this is something that honestly, I hadn't been taking care of my mental health for the longest time. I've done things to improve my physical health, which in turn has helped improve my mental health. But this last January, I broke my ankle. And when that happened, I didn't exercise. I tried to eat well, but I was on all these pain meds, and that does its own thing to your body. That sucks. So if you've ever had surgery or anything like that, you know what I'm talking about. It's awful. So yeah, but after I recovered from that, I started picking up a lot of healthy habits. I wanted to feel so much better because being on those pain meds, being in all that pain, not being able to even walk, like having to roll around on a scooter for months, basically left me with no energy, feeling very fatigued all the time, and really out of shape, not gonna lie, like the most out of shape I've ever been in my life. So that is what I was dealing with, and getting into these healthy habits again was really good for me. But there were still things that I wasn't dealing with, and that was coming out very obviously in my relationship. Now, my boyfriend is amazing, and he's super patient with me, and I like to think we're super patient with each other as best as we can be. Everyone loses their patience, whatever, and then you just take a break, and then you come back, and you do it again. So, anyway, so, it came to my attention that there were things that I was not dealing with, and Miguel and I talked about it, and I decided to go see a counselor. And going to see a counselor has been one of the best decisions I've ever made. I've only been to 3 sessions so far, so it's not very in-depth yet. However, if you're willing to open up, you can cover a lot in a very short time. And depending on who you're paired with too. I was paired with someone where intellectually we matched up right away and we were able to just get to the nitty-gritty. Even in the first session, going all the way back to my childhood, talking about being verbally abused when I was younger for an extended period of time. That was, my parents did go through a divorce, and, the events leading up to that, that was definitely a toxic environment. However, I still felt very cared for, very loved, very looked after through that whole entire experience. However, when I was a teenager, it was the first time I felt like I was in a really toxic environment that I needed to leave. And I did. I put up with it for a while because I was a child, and I didn't know that that's not how you're supposed to be treated for, small things. I don't need to get into it. However, that was the very first time I stood up for myself and got myself out of that environment. I was lucky. A lot of people are not lucky. They don't have another home to turn to, but I was able to go live with my dad. And that was a great option for me. By the way, happy Father's Day, Dad, if you're even watching this. I don't know. Anyway, so, getting crazy with the camera here. This is going to be totally unedited. All my videos I do in one take. I don't edit anything. So it's probably why a lot of you guys don't watch them. But Anyway, let's keep ranting. Let's keep on topic. So that was the first toxic environment that I left. The second time I really had to deal with toxicity was in my second relationship. My boyfriend cheated on me, and there were a lot of very manipulative things, lying, all that sort of thing that happened before the cheating happened. And putting up with that, like, that kind of person who's constantly lying to you, and like, I knew this, but at the same time, I, really cared about him and wanted to see the best in him. And when you feel that way about someone, you, like, what do you want to say? It's like I had a veil, like, almost covering my eyes, so that, like, I knew that the lies were there, but I was willing to ignore them for as long as possible until that happened. And that is when I finally decided, okay, I can't have this toxic person in my life anymore. And so all these are things that happened in the past. Why am I talking about this now? And I think the reason I really want to talk about this today is I came home from work, and it was another dreadful day at work. I've had a summer job, and honestly, it has been one of the most toxic environments I've ever been in. And I know I probably haven't been able to deal with it the best because I haven't had a day off in over a month. So that in itself is not healthy. It is not good for your mental health. What it does is it puts your cortisol levels up here. You have adrenaline going all the time to deal with, the stress of having to work every day. Having that, like, at least one day off a week is really important, and that's something I've had to learn this summer. It seems obvious, but, I did break my ankle. I have all these medical bills to take care of, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna buck up and work as much as I can. So that's what I've been doing, and so, I already have that amount of stress happening. However, I have been working in the food industry since I was 15. I was 15 when I got my first job. I'm 24 now. So I've been working for almost 10 years. That's crazy. That seems really crazy because I still feel very young. But, like, I've been working for 10 years of my life. So yeah, I've had quite a few jobs, some of them pretty stressful. However, I have never been treated as disrespectfully as I've been treated at this job. People yelling at me, people yelling in my face, people swearing at me, and all of these things have been said to me for very small things. Like, as small as just being in the wrong place at the wrong time, not doing what this person thinks I should be doing, if that makes sense. So yeah, just, it's been, I don't even know how to describe it. It's been so awful. And honestly, the reason I stayed there was because I didn't have another job at the time. I have a teaching job here at the university, but they only pay me so much, and I obviously don't get paid during the summer because I'm not working during the summer. So, yeah, it was my only job. I really wanted to like working there. However, I was surprised and shocked every time someone treated me that way. I know it's normal for people to treat the new girl a little rough to see what she can, like, handle, but this was a little over the top, and definitely the worst I've ever been treated at any job, and I've been working for 9 years of my life. Yeah, so it just, like, hit me today, like, this environment is so toxic. And luckily, this restaurant is closing. The restaurant I'm working at is closing on June 25th. It's June 18th today, so it's closing in a week. I already have another job. It's a great job, pays way better, really nice, chill people working there. Can't see myself having an issue there, just like I haven't at any of my other jobs. So what am I trying to get to? Talking about toxicity. I think I've realized now, more than ever, that no job is worth putting up with that kind of treatment. And I will never, ever, ever again allow myself to stay in this kind of situation. You know, I really needed the money this summer, but truth is, like, I got this job at another restaurant like 2 weeks ago. Like, I could have just quit. I could have said, sorry, not worth it. I don't like how I'm being treated here. Bye. But I didn't, because one, I am still working there. I am still making money there, and that's important for me right now. But also, two, there's just like an amount of integrity I have. Like, I was hired to kind of help cover their shifts and make things work until they close. And with that in mind, like, you'd think that they'd treat me a little better. Like, I'm there to, like, basically make life easier for the people who have been working there for, you know, I don't know how long. Some of them years. So, yeah. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have made this video, like, right after work. But, you know, I just want to say, if you have ever been in a toxic place, or if you are living with or constantly dealing with a toxic person, I encourage you to remove yourself from that situation as best as you can. And for me, you know, that even means family, because, you know, family is forever, yada, yada, yada. However, if someone is constantly abusing you in any way, whether it's verbally or physically, or, you know, manipulating you or anything like that, I think that's when it's time to turn in the towel and say, sorry, I can't do this anymore. Like, you're my family, but you have treated me this way for years. Peace. Yeah, and I think that has to do with, like, any kind of environment. If the city you're living in, like, does not inspire you anymore, or, you know, if the job you're working at just, you know, isn't fitting for you. The world is so big. The world has so many opportunities. I think there is a time and a place to, like, stop and be thankful for what you have and try to make things work. But once it reaches the level of, you know, that it is toxic, like, you know, your friends are gonna just go out drinking, like, every weekend, and that's not you anymore. You don't want to do that. Or, you know, like, you're in a shitty workplace and people don't treat you well when you know you deserve better. Or, you know, if you're in a, seriously, like, I can't speak from, like, a physically abusive relationship, but, and I know those are way more complicated and I can't, like, talk professionally about those, but I just encourage you, even if you feel like you can't leave, I encourage you to get help. I encourage you to start seeing a counselor, seriously, because I think just seeing a counselor has opened my mind to, you know, changes I should be making for myself. Things like prioritizing myself and my own time, and, you know, I felt like staying at this job was, like, me doing the right thing. Like, I'm sticking with it because I said I would. However, yeah, this video is all about toxicity, and it's about recognizing when that is occurring in your life, when it is too much, and when it is time to say bye. And I think only you can know that. You can know when it's a kind of situation where, like, you should try harder, or you should be grateful, or you should, you know, try to make the best of the situation. But there are definitely times and definitely signs that tell you, like, no, this isn't just, like, kind of sucky anymore. Like, this is toxic. And this is affecting how I view myself. That's not okay. That's not okay. And I encourage you to get out. Like, I wish I had left this job 2 weeks ago. Seriously. And now I have, like, 3 shifts left. So, whatever. I'm going to push through, say bye, never talk to any of those toxic people ever again. Wish them well, send them good vibes. But, you know, when we're done, we're done. So, yeah. I want to know what you think. Do you think what I'm saying is silly? Like, should I don't know. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you think about toxicity, toxic relationships, toxic environments, how you deal with those, and how you know. Like, how do you know that something is toxic? And how do you deal with it? So, yeah, go ahead and comment below. Really nice to send out another video to you guys, and I hope you've all been doing well. Bye.